Spurs striker Dominic Solanke was an unused sub as England beat Finland 3-1 on Sunday evening. Lots of Spurs players will be in international duty on Tuesday. More reports are stating that Amanda Staveley to invest at Tottenham Hotspur, and she may want to replace Ange with Newcastle boss Eddie Howe. Tottenham Hotspur women lost 3-0 away at Manchester United on Sunday. That is now 8 goals conceded in their last 3 WSL games. Heung-min Son wrote the following on Instagram: back soon. Football.London have stated that Son, Richarlison and Odobert could all return for Tottenham's game when they host West Ham on Saturday. Ange, Jed Spence and Timo Werner were seen at the NFL at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Cowlin and this is another episode of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, just before I get into it, I would just like to say a huge thank you to everybody who listened to various podcasts this week on audio platforms. We were #1 in 4 different countries this week. Simply incredible. Cannot believe these numbers week by week. So thank you so much for all of your support. And if you're watching this or listening to this before 12 p.m. UK time, you can still vote for us at the Football Content Awards. We have been shortlisted for 2 awards, Best in Social and Best Club Content Creator. If you're listening to this or watching this after 12 midnight UK time, then if you did vote, thank you very much. If you didn't, then never mind. There is always next year. Thank you so much for all of your incredible support, as always. Now, let's start by talking about Tottenham Hotspur players on matchday international duty. Well, in fact, there was only one on Sunday, and that was Dominic Solanke representing England against Finland away. He was actually an unused sub. England won the game 3-1 in Helsinki. Grealish, Alexander-Arnold and Rice with England's goals. A number of Tottenham Hotspur players will be on matchday international duty on Monday. Dejan Kulusevski and Lucas Bergvall for Sweden, as they will be facing Estonia in the Nations League. Yves Bissouma for Mali, as they will be facing Guinea-Bissau in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. Ben Davies for Wales, as he will be facing Montenegro. Brennan Johnson was meant to be involved, but he is actually suspended, having picked up a second yellow card in their last game. Vicario and Udogie for Italy, as they will be facing Israel in the Nations League. Mickey van der Ven for the Netherlands, as they will be facing Germany. Lancashire, Phillips and Gunter for the England under-20s, as they will be facing Czech Republic. And Callum Elise for the England under-18s, as they will be facing Ukraine or the Netherlands in Spain. Now, Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has given an update on Tottenham Hotspur target and Crystal Palace star Eze. He has stated several clubs are keeping a close eye on Eze. We all know that he has been appreciated by Tottenham. We know several other clubs have been scouting him, including Manchester United. Manchester United want to invest in a winger in 2025. They have not decided yet who that is going to be, so let's wait, let's see what happens. But for sure, Eze is one of the players that they have been scouting again, among many others. So I'm not saying that he is the only one or he is a priority target, but for sure, Eze is a player appreciated around England. The release clause will still be there for summer 2025, which is in the region of £60 million. Now for some good news. On Sunday, Tottenham Hotspur captain Heung-min Son wrote the following on Instagram, just 2 words, very simply: back soon. Now, it has been stated in the national press in the last couple of days by a couple of very reliable sources that it is expected that the South Korean star and the Spurs captain will return to action on Saturday when Spurs host West Ham United in the Premier League, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Now, following on from Heung-min Son's comments on Instagram on Sunday, Football.London have written the following: Heung-min Son, Richarlison and Wilson Odobert injury latest, and Tottenham return dates. Now, talking about Heung-min Son, they have stated on Sunday, Son posted an image of himself overlooking training pitches with the simple message "back soon" alongside lily white heart emoji. Football.London understands that Heung-min Son is expected to be back in training at some point this week, and all eyes will be on the hamstring and how it holds up in the first few sessions. It then goes on to say potential return date Tottenham v West Ham on the 19th of October. Talking about Richarlison, it states here, Richarlison has been out since the second game of the season and the win against his old side Everton, in which he came off the bench for the final 25 minutes or so. The striker was shown back on the grass working in the past week, and it has also been hoped that Richarlison will be back in training during the week. The match against West Ham might come too soon as Spurs take it cautiously with him after previous setbacks, but we're sure that game will be in the back of mind. Potential return date Tottenham v West Ham on the 19th of October. Football.London then go on to say Wilson Odobert, he only arrived at Tottenham from Burnley for £30 million just ahead of the Everton game Richarlison got injured in. The 19-year-old Frenchman made an impact in that first game but suffered a hamstring injury early on in the Carabao Cup game at Championship side Coventry midway through last month. It then goes on to say here that the potential return date for Wilson Odobert is the West Ham game on the 19th of October. On Sunday afternoon, Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou was seen at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium watching the NFL as the Chicago Bears took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, two Spurs players were also in attendance and were photographed at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Timo Werner and Jed Spence. Now, we have seen and heard various reports about this in the last couple of months, but these are fresh reports coming out on Sunday. This one is from the Daily Mail. Amanda Staveley sets sights on Ange Postecoglou replacement amid fresh links between former Newcastle director and Tottenham as Daniel Levy seeks fresh investment. It states here, former Toon director Staveley has been linked with taking a stake in Tottenham. She could make a managerial change if she joins and Spurs form stutters. In this report from the Daily Mail, it states that Staveley has reportedly set her sights on a replacement for Ange Postecoglou should she secure a stake in Tottenham and the club's form continues to stutter. Staveley departed her role as director at Newcastle United in the summer, nearly 3 years after she helped push through Saudi Arabia's public investment fund's £305 million takeover of the club. Although the exit from Newcastle left her devastated, Staveley has actively sought a return to football. The Daily Mail also state the rumour mill was sparked into overdrive when she was seen at Tottenham Stadium for the 3-1 win over Brentford in September. Reports are claiming that Staveley has lined up buying a stake in Tottenham alongside some financial backers with deep pockets, with the club seeking fresh investment. The Sun newspaper have also reported on this story, stating should Staveley end up with a chunk of control at Tottenham, it would not be long before she exerts her influence on first-team matters. The reports from The Sun are claiming that Staveley would target Newcastle boss Eddie Howe as a prospective replacement for Ange Postecoglou should a managerial decision need to be made. On Sunday afternoon, the Tottenham Hotspur women were in action in the WSL, playing their fourth league game of the season. It ended Manchester United 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Turland with a brace and Letitia in the 59th minute from the penalty spot gave Manchester United the 3 points in front of 4,473 fans at Leigh Sports Village Stadium. Now, Tottenham Hotspur had a number of opportunities in the game. They actually had 18 shots, 7 on target, 7 off target, and 4 blocked shots. They had 54.9% of the ball. Now, after 4 games, the Spurs women are 7th in the WSL table. We have played 4, won 1, drawn 1, lost 2. We now have a goal difference of 0. We have 4 points. Next up, Chelsea away next Sunday. They have started the season extremely well. They are sat in second spot in the WSL at the moment with 3 wins out of 3, sitting in second with 9 points. Now let's hear from Robert Vilahamn, the Tottenham Hotspur women boss, after Tottenham lost 3-0 at Manchester United on Sunday afternoon. This is what he had to say, and we also hear from Beth England, the Tottenham Hotspur women captain.
I mean, if you look at the result-wise, it's not fun to lose 3-0 and away against Man United, but if you look at the performance and try to actually analyse the game and how we perform, it's one of the best start of the games we have had. We played some really good football. The press is really good as well, and the first 30 minutes we are dominating the game, creating chances as well. Then we need to look at how we can protect the crosses better and how we can defend the box better, because going in with 2-0 when we have this great performance the first 30-35 minutes, it's not good. But on the other hand, you can tell the players half-time, second half, of course they get a penalty and score 3-0, but we keep creating chances. I think we have 18-17 goal chances. We have the possession, we have the corner kicks. There's a lot of stuff in this game that makes it not a 3-0 game. So if you look at the performance and how the players are brave, how they play out from the back, how they play the Tottenham way, it's actually some really good stuff in the game, and I need to look at that as well and not be only emotional like, oh, I lost the game. On the other hand, we don't want to lose 3-0. We want to make sure we find ways to compete, and that's why we need to find ways to nail those situations as well. But performance-wise, it was actually some really good stuff as well. But of course, now it's tough. I think in one way, when you score a goal, it gives you even more energy. So to score a goal those first 30 minutes when we have the chances, that gives you more momentum, I would say. And of course not receiving a goal, because also receiving goals give you, it hurts your self-confidence in a little way, and the rhythm was the same against Liverpool as well. So we need to find ways to dictate the game more and game management in those phases as well. But mainly we need to score goals, because we don't score goals today, even if we have a lot of chances. Then you have tough games away against top teams, and sometimes you lose those games because it's really top teams you play against, and you need to look at it in a way where we are and where we're going. And right now we compete with the top teams. Right now we can draw, we can win the games, but right today we lost the game because of situations in the game, not because they were dominating us. So in one way we are much better this season than last season in those occasions, but we need to take steps now how to make sure we can compete better. I mean, in one way we have 7 players away today. That's quite many players, really good players. On the other hand, I just love how Charlie played today. I love that Bethany's back playing her style. Olga, Matilda, her best minute this season. Lena's few minutes. It's so many good stuff with having injuries, because all of a sudden you play those players that you know that is so good, but you haven't played them. And so for me, it's like we can never complain about injuries, because we have a really good squad. And for me, it was really good to see those players, because they were really good in the game. Then of course we want to have the injury players back, so we have the competition and the right chemistry and so on. But on the other hand, it was the first game for Charlie for a while, it was the first game for Olga for a while, and they did well. I think you need to look at the game winning and losing in a okay, what was good, what do we need to improve. I think it's a lot of stuff we can show that's really good football. Then we need to look at how can we actually score goals on these chances, and then of course how can we defend better when we lose the ball, because we kind of given them the space that they want and they score goals from that. So we need to look at good stuff and bad stuff and make sure we try to fix that during the week, and then we just need to also keep going, because it's going to be a lot of games where we win sometimes and lose sometimes, but we also need to keep going every week, because that's how you get better.
It's just genuine disappointment for me. I feel like we outpossessed them in so many areas. We dominated in areas. Drew had 2 really good chances that tested her a little bit more. But ultimately it's no good dominating if we're not putting the ball in the net, and obviously we have to look at ourselves from a front line. Me personally, I have to look at myself and see what I could have done better to lead this team. And I think I'm so proud of the first half, because I felt like we were so on top, and it was just that killer goal that got us. They went 1-0 up and it knocked us, and I need this group to start and believe that even if we are 1-0 down, that we were still in the game. We were very much in it. Even at half time we were very much in it. I think for me it's looking at the performance as a whole, not just the conceding aspects, because again we're dominating the ball much more than we did probably, I would say, last year. I think we can still go to Chelsea with confidence in terms of we are going to be able to have more of the ball. We are going to be able to cause them problems. Again, it's just making sure that when we do get those chances, a team like Man United, they had 2 chances in the first half and they took them, scored them, we didn't, and that's the levels. And for us, we have to continue to push and make sure that we are getting that finishing aspect, because that's what will help us going forward in the league.
And lastly, let's have a look at the fixtures for our teams this week. On Wednesday, the Tottenham Hotspur Women Under-21s will be in action at home against Southampton in the Professional Game Academy League. On Friday evening, the Tottenham Hotspur Under-21s will be in action at home against Reading at Vilahamn Stadium in Premier League 2. And then on Saturday, the Spurs Under-18s will be in action away at West Ham, 11 a.m. kickoff. The men's first team will also be in action on Saturday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against West Ham United in the Premier League, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. And as already mentioned, the Tottenham Hotspur women will be in action on Sunday away at Chelsea in the WSL. The game will be played at Kingsmeadow Stadium. The kickoff time, 6:45 p.m. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about Dominic Solanke on international duty for England. I expected Dominic Solanke to get a lot of minutes in these two games, and it hasn't been the case. Really, really disappointing from Dominic Solanke's point of view, especially against Finland. Of course, he came on as a sub. Against Greece, which England lost 2-1, but to not get any minutes at all, not to come off the bench against Finland on Sunday evening, really, really disappointing. It's taken him years to get back into the England fold, got very limited minutes the other night against Greece and 0 minutes against Finland. Really, really disappointed for him because he's in the form of his life. Of course, he's played well for Spurs so far. He had that injury, that small injury that kept him out for a couple of games. But when you look at his form for Bournemouth last year and for Tottenham in these last couple of games, not only his finishing, his positioning, his pressing, he's an exceptional footballer. In my opinion, I think that he deserved a lot more minutes in these two games. So very, very disappointed for him. Of course, it is a positive, though, because, of course, he will be coming back. He's not injured. He'll be coming back and he will be fresh for the West Ham United game. But just thinking about it from a personal point of view for him, because he must have thought that he was going to get a number of minutes in these two matches, I must say. A number of players will be on international duty on Tuesday, Wednesday and so on this week. So let's keep our fingers crossed that all of these players will be coming back fit and well and not too tired. And not picking up any knocks for the game, because of course we play the first game of the weekend, Spurs West Ham. It is the lunchtime kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 12:30 p.m. So we want a fully fit and available squad. Ange Postecoglou, of course, will want a fully fit squad going into that game. Of course, he was seen on Sunday at the NFL. Players Spence and Timo Werner were also there. I've got to say that the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, whatever event they hold there, it is absolutely fantastic. The pictures you see online, the videos you see online, it is incredible, and it is an incredible stadium. I've been to various different events, non-football events at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and whatever they put on, whatever event is there, it is incredible. So if you've never been to watch any of these non-football events, do go at least once in your lifetime and have a look, because it is a wow. It is a wow moment. It really is. I've been to the couple of boxing fights they've had there. Incredible atmosphere. Incredible there. NFL, brilliant. Rugby. I've been to concerts there. It is incredible. Heung-min Son. Really, really pleased to see this short message on his Instagram. And this is someone that doesn't really use social media a lot. But I'm so glad that he's come out publicly and said back soon. And Football.London have confirmed that, or they think that Son, Richarlison and Odobert will be back for this West Ham United game. Now, I've spoken so often about this before. Since Ange Postecoglou has come in, I don't think he's ever, in all the time he's been Spurs boss, I don't think he's ever had a fully fit squad, every single player available. So let's hope that, as I say, fingers crossed that all of these other players will come back fully fresh, and Ange Postecoglou can perhaps have a fully fit squad for once, or near a fully fit squad. Wouldn't that be fantastic? The Spurs women losing 3-0 away at Manchester United. Really disappointing, and it's been kind of a story for the Spurs women that they've created so many chances. And I know that for those of you who don't watch the Spurs women on a regular basis, it's pretty much the same as or the problem we've had with the men's side, where we should have scored more goals. We should have put games to bed. The game on Sunday against Manchester United was no different. the Spurs women had so many opportunities to score. A really, really good start from them. Great pressing as well. And I know this sounds very similar to the men's side. And then right at the end of the half, we conceded 2 goals from 2 crosses. Didn't deal with the crosses coming in. 2 great finishes from the Manchester United striker. And unfortunately, we lost the game 3-0. And, that now leaves us having conceded 8 goals in our last 3 games. And one thing about Robert Vilahamn, he certainly does go for it. He's not a manager that ever plays for a draw. He came out and said that last week, I'm not going to play for a draw. It was 2-2. And he went for the win. And sadly, we didn't get the win. We actually lost the game 3-2. But we could have won the game 3-2. So, again, I think there is that fine balance, that fine line of, game management. He's spoken about that as well. But we face Chelsea in the WSL next, and that is going to be a very, very tough game. They've won 3 out of 3 so far, beat Arsenal on Saturday at the Emirates Stadium. Now, Fabrizio Romano has provided an update on Eze. Of course, there are a lot of Premier League clubs interested, and who wouldn't be? I've said various different times, so many times, Craig, who's a channel regular, Ricky Norwood, who's a channel regular. I think we've all said it. We'd love to see Eze in a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. £60 million, that is the release clause. If Spurs want a player of this calibre with Premier League experience, great Premier League experience, I might add, and of course experience of England as well, I think that £60 million would be very well spent on a player like Eze, and I think that he would be a massive upgrade as well for Tottenham. Now, Amanda Staveley is apparently going to be investing at Tottenham. I don't know whether I believe this at all. I just cannot see this happening, if I'm completely honest. You know that Daniel Levy likes to be the guy in charge. I just cannot see someone coming in, investing into the football club and having big decisions, massive decisions on the pitch. And off the pitch also, all of these reports about, Eddie Howe coming in to replace Ange Postecoglou. I don't think anyone like Amanda Staveley would be coming in making those sorts of decisions. I think this is all newspaper talk. And I wouldn't believe a word of it. And I would be extremely surprised even if she ended up investing into Tottenham Hotspur, because someone like her likes the control. And I can't see that control being given to somebody new. Just cannot see it happening. Watch this space. I can see some sort of investment coming in, but I just cannot see someone coming in wanting control and being given the control, because I feel like Daniel Levy is surely not going to pass that control on. Anyway, as I said, let's hope and pray that all of these players come back, not injured, fit and well. Ange Postecoglou can, get some of these players into a couple of training sessions, because bearing in mind, we play West Ham on Saturday, as I mentioned a couple of times, the early kick-off in the Premier League on Saturday, and some of these players will be coming back late. They will probably only have 1 or 2 training sessions, some of these guys. So the team selection will, of course, be interesting on Saturday, but we need to get back to winning ways, especially after that defeat at Brighton, which has left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, because we all wanted to go into the international break on an absolute high, because we had done so well, played many games, won many games, Brennan Johnson scoring 6 out of 6, us winning 5 out of 5, then being 2-0 up at Brighton and then losing 3-2. The manner of that defeat, it just simply wasn't good enough. And as Postecoglou said, it was unacceptable. Cannot let those sorts of things happen. Spurs can get back to winning ways on Saturday against West Ham. Yes, it's going to be a tough game. Yes, they give absolutely everything. But are we good enough to beat West Ham? Absolutely. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Have a great week and come on you Spurs.